Today I want to talk about this electric cigar box guitar, and it's pretty cool because it was made with a variety of things that you probably have laying around the house, a lot of screws, including the pickup. So I want to talk about how it's going to work. So let's start down at the bottom here. For the bridge, he's got screws that are holding on the strings. Up there he's got the saddle, which is actually made with a screw with the head cut off, and then the pickups are homemade with screws as well. Now I'll talk about how that's going to function in a second. Up here on the nut, he's also got some screws. So I thought this was a good demonstration of how pickups actually function. So the way that a pickup is built is you have a post for each string, which in this case is the screw, or in your guitar it's the metal part that sticks up. You can only see the top. And then you have a magnet that is attached to that, and wrapped around those in a coil is magnet wire. So magnet wire is just copper wire with a thin enamel coating or insulation, as opposed to bare or a thicker plastic coating. So you can find magnet wire in a variety of different household items, like anything with a small motor, like an electric shaver. You can find it in outlets or in your speakers. So the way that it works is you have a magnet that has a magnetic field, right, which you can feel when you're putting magnets together. There's one side that sticks and one side that repels. You can feel the magnetic field that a magnet has, even though you can't see it. And the magnet in your pickups also has a north and a south, so two poles, and then you have the copper wire wrapped all the way around it, which is creating a magnetic field. So on one end of the copper wire you have your ground connection, and on the other end you have your hot connection. So it's creating a circuit that flows around and around and around your pickup. So that's why when you test a pickup to see if it works, you put one end on the ground, one end on the hot, you're connecting the two, and you're measuring the resistance, which is the length of the coil. The more length, the more resistance as the electricity flows. So if you can imagine that the electricity is flowing through that copper wire, and the magnet in your pickup has a stable magnetic field, okay? Now, when you vibrate your string, which is metal, that disturbs the magnetic field that is stationary with the magnet. Now, when that's going to create a disturbance pattern in the electrical flow. So the signal is the disturbance between the ground and the hot, if that makes sense. And then what happens, why it makes sound, is because that disturbance pattern is then replicated instantaneously by our ears, because we can't perceive the speed at which electricity travels in the speaker in your amp. So the disturbance pattern in your pickup is replicated in the speaker, which is much bigger. If you've ever taken apart a speaker, it's a huge magnet, and therefore it amplifies the sound. And that's how the sound comes out of your guitar. If you want to learn more about electronics, you can check out my Guitar Wiring for Beginners course. That'll cover the basics, get you started with guitar wiring, as well as it comes with a free guitar wiring cheat sheet that you can download. That's all for this week. I'm going to take a break for Christmas, and see you in the new year.